Welcome to the class of financial statement analysis. Today we're gonna discuss the relevance of financial statement analysis in respect to business decisions. That means how does it aids in business decision making, right? So first of all, before going to that, let's understand what do you mean by decision making? What is a decision making process? It can be defined as it is nothing but decision making is a process of identifying the problems or issues coming up and then finding out a solution, how to resolve it. So that is your decision making. When some problem or some challenge comes up and you try to find a solution for that, you try to resolve it. That's your decision making process. These decisions can be of two types: program decisions and non-program decisions. Program decisions are generally of repetitive nature. Those are recurring every day. Suppose you have to reorder your stationery, you have to reorder your raw material, it gets over, then it is a kind of repetitive task that every time when your product, your stock comes down to this level, you have to make a reorder level. So those are your program decision making, that it keeps on occurring, it keeps on taking place as a part of your routine activities. But non-program decisions are your unstructured decisions. Unstructured in the sense these decisions are to be taken when there is a uncertainty, when you don't know the thing, you cannot predict, and suddenly something comes up. Those are your non-programmed decisions, right? When some risk is there, uncertainty is there, जो आपने कभी प्लान नहीं किया था, it is out of your planning and which was not predictable, suddenly it comes up and then on the spot you have to take some decision. That is your non-programmed decision. And it also includes your strategic decisions. So all the strategic planning which is done, that is a kind of non-programmed decisions. So if you see, non-programmed decisions are more complex in nature as compared to the programmed decisions, right? Because program decision anybody can take. These are generally taken at lower level and middle level. They know that the stationery is about to get over, so you have to place an order, you have to take a decision कि आज आपको order place करना है या कल place करना है. So that is a very simple kind of decision making, but non-program decisions are your little complex in nature. Now, what is the importance of decision making management? Why it is important? Better utilization of resources. See what happens. All the decisions which are taken by a decision maker, these are these are rational in nature. Rational in the sense, these are very prudent, and rational in the sense, there is a logic behind it. So rationally they think, the decision maker think that they have to make the best of the available resources so that the optimum usage of resources can be done, right? So that leads to your better utilization of resources. It also helps in overcoming the problems. What are the challenges and issues are coming up? So decision making will help you in taking a decision to resolve those problems. Then business growth. Business growth in the sense, see, decision making is a platform, or it is a basis of all the management functions, be it planning, organizing, directing, controlling. In all the management functions, decision making is inbuilt. It is already imbibed in that. So whenever a planning is to be done, decisions are to be taken. A staffing is to be done, there also some kinds of decisions are to be taken. When it comes to organizing or your directing, there also different kinds of decisions are to be taken. But decision making is a imbibed part of all the management functions. So if all the management functions are, why do we carry out all these functions? The basic aim is for the growth of the business, right? These all lead to the achievement of the objectives, and one of the objective is the growth of the business. Achieving objectives, so it is a sub part of your business growth, because to achieve those objectives, you have to do the decision making. It increases efficiency. How does it increases efficiency? It is pervasive. Pervasive in the sense it is existing everywhere. Universally, it is existing. So be it any kind of organization, decision making is a part of that. And they focus on making the best of the things choosing the best alternative. That is your decision making. You have many alternatives in front of you, but out of those you have to select the one which will give the maximum reward to you, and it will utilize the minimum resource to you. So ultimately it will increase the efficiency, right? Facilitates innovations. So many decisions are taken. Even your employees can be involved as a part of your decision making. You can always ask for this suggestion, that you tell us what do you want to give, what are your inputs on that particular thing. So with that discussion you can come out with good, something new, something creative. A unique kind of decision can be taken which can be best suitable for your organization. Then motivates employees means it focus on the skills. एम्प्लॉयज की एफिशिएंसी इंक्रीज कराता है, उनकी स्किल्स पे फोकस करता है. सो अल्टीमेटली if you are taking a decision which is in favor of the employees, they'll feel motivated. Or if you are involving them as a part of decision making, then also the employees feel motivated that okay, we are a part of this concern. We also have some say. We also have some stake in this organization. So we are valued here. So it motivates the employees to work further. Then comes, what are the steps in analyzing financial statements? First of all, to clearly define the analysis objectives. That means you have to articulate the objectives why that analysis is carried out. Why are we preparing the financial statements? Okay, we are prepared. Then why do we want to analyze? There has to be some underlying objective, right? Some purpose that we want to analyze this, so that we can see whether that objective or that aim has been achieved or not, right? Those are your underlying. First of all, you have to define, you have to articulate very clearly that what are the objectives of your analysis. This analysis जो आप carry कर रहे हो, which you want to carry out, what is the purpose behind it. Next is to formulate specific questions and criteria consistent with the analysis objective. After that, you will be formulating some specific questions in the sense कि आपकी बैलेंस शीट की पोजीशन कितनी चेंज हुई है, इनकम स्टेटमेंट कितनी हुई है, कैश फ्लो बढ़ा है या घट गया है. So all those questions you will specify that from this analysis हम लोगों को इन questions के answers मिल जाने चाहिए. And then what should be the criteria to see कि कौन सा criteria आप use करोगे, and that criteria has to be consistent in the sense it should be at par with the analysis of the objective. Which objective you set, it should be at par with that. It should be going in line with that. Then identifying the most effective and efficient tool for analysis. Then after that you decide which tool and technique you will be applying while carrying out the analysis, while doing the analysis. कौन से tools and techniques and what is the criteria and why you are choosing that particular tool and technique for analysis. Next is interpreting the evidence. So whatever things have come in front of you after the analysis, then you will be interpreting it with some kind of backup or with some kind of evidence, right? So what do we do? First of all, we'll be collecting all the information of the organization, right? Then we'll be seeing that what is the balance sheet position. Financial statements will be collecting, be it balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement, fund flow, or the statement of the equity funds, owner's equity. So these statements will be collecting all the statements. What it will give? It will give us the financial position, where the how and where the organization is standing. What is the present position? After that, what would we do? We would obtain the information from the competitors. The data we will be collecting, what is the status of our competitors which are operating in the same industry. After that, we will be obtaining the market data. कि stock prices में क्या जा रहा है, market में क्या चल रहा है. That market data is also to be collected and analyzed. So what will happen in the end? We will have number of information. We'll have all kinds of information from all the aspects, be it your organization, be it your competitor, be it your industry, be it your market. So after collecting all kinds of information, we will be deciding, we'll be getting a mixed information. Then there'll be some positive sides and there'll be some negative insights also. It will be a kind of mixed data, mixed information will be getting, that somewhere we have improved and at some aspects we have it has gone down, right? So on that basis, we'll be deciding, in the end, we'll be interpreting that on so and so areas we have improved, and these are the reasons why it has improved, and on so and so areas it has gone down, and these maybe, or these can be the reasons that why our cash flow has decreased, or why our competitors have become more strong than us, these kind of things. So in the end, when we get a mixed positive and negative data, that is to be interpreted. So these are some basic steps which are taking place, which are done while analyzing the financial statements, and this is done universally in all kinds of organization. You start with your organization, then you move to your competitors, then you move to your industry, then you move to your market, and in the end you analyze the whole lot of the data which you have received, right? Now moving on to the financial reporting. First of all, let's understand what do we mean by financial reporting. Financial reporting may be defined as communication of published financial statements and related information from a business enterprise to third parties, including your shareholders, creditors, customers, governmental authorities, and the public. It is the reporting of accounting information of an entity to a user or group of users. So basically, it is nothing, but it is a kind of communication, the statements which you have prepared. So when a published kind of statement is communicated to the third party means your stakeholders. We know that why these parties are interested. In the very beginning class, first or second lecture, we had discussed the parties which have interest in financial statements, and why do they are interested in the financial statements of an organization. So financial reporting means the status of your financial statements when you try to communicate it, when you try to convey it to your all the outsiders, stakeholders. So it is the reporting of your accounting information, be it individual firm, be it sole proprietor, be it firm, be it company, be it partnership, be it any government enterprise. Everybody needs to report the financial statements to the stakeholders. So company financial reporting is a total communication system. So it becomes a total communication system involving the company and preparer. Preparer means who prepares the statements and then who prepares the final report. The investor and creditors as primary users, and the external users, the accounting profession as measures and auditors, and the company law, regulatory and administrative authorities. So what happens? It is to be given to the third party. So sometimes more or less it becomes statutory in the sense that it is legally bound to all the companies to report their financial statements, right? So वो चाहे किसी जो prepare होता है उस prepare की it becomes duty of that prepare to provide that information, whether it is to investor and creditors or it is to the government, and the auditors also play very important, and we'll see in the coming slides. So now meaning, if you try to understand of the financial reporting, it is the presentation of formal record of financial activities of a business, firm or other entities. So basically it is nothing but it is an accounting function, and it comes out from the statements which you have prepared. Financial reports are prepared for external as well as internal users. On a broader side, if we see, we call it financial reporting. But if you try to bifurcate it further, it is said that reports which we prepare for internal users are your management. So that is called as management reporting rather than financial reporting. Generally, the term used financial reporting is for your outsiders, for your external users, right? So it includes, present and prospective shareholders, lenders, supplier, customer, government, employees, and financial analysts. So main component of the financial reports for external user is annual report. It is through the annual report that all the kinds of analysis done during that one particular financial year, it is reported to the outsiders. It also includes your director reports that we'll be discussing in detail, and your financial statements and the notes. So what are the objectives of financial reporting? There is one general purpose financial reporting. It is to provide financial information about the reporting entity that is useful to existing and potential investor. See, general purpose क्या होता है? This general purpose reporting it is to be, overall health of the organization, overall financial health of the organization is to be reported. That is your general purpose reporting. So those decisions involving buying, selling, holding equity, debt instruments, providing or settling loans and other forms of credit. See what happens, let's understand it this way, that whatever we are, I'm a prospective investor. I'm not the current investor or stakeholder in the company, but I'm interested in investing in company A. So do I have all the information, or if I ask the organization, the company, will it be providing me all the details? No, it won't be providing individually or to each and every stakeholder, right? So there, the general purpose financial reporting, which is done by the organization, it plays a vital role. All the information, all the financial position, financial status of the organization, as an investor, I can get an idea from that, which has already been reported by the organization. So जो एक जनरल पर्पस फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन करती है, कोई भी इन्वेस्टर, कोई भी इंटरेस्टेड पार्टी, उसके थ्रू दे कैन मेक आउट कि इस कंपनी का क्या वो है. So whether I should buy it, or I should hold the equity of the organization, or I should sell it off. On that basis we decide, right? So many existing and potential investors, lenders and other creditors cannot require reporting entities to provide information directly to them, right? वो किसी को भी directly provide नहीं करते हैं, and must rely on general purpose financial reports for much of the financial information they need. So they have to refer to the general purpose financial reports which have been reported by the company. Consequently, they are the primary users to whom general purpose financial reports are directed. So major concern क्या होता है? Primary users तो वही है ना, interested party. कंपनी को रिपोर्ट करने का मोटो भी वही होता है, so that all the information flows to the primary users. Then next comes the purpose of financial reporting. The purpose of financial reporting, the government and the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India have issued various accounting standards and guidance notes which are applied to the purpose of financial reporting. So see, why these accounting standards and guidance compliances are issued. These are issued so that a uniformity can be maintained. कि सब organization जो हैं, सब industry में या फिर subsidiaries हैं या parent companies हैं, everybody should be preparing their financial statements on a uniform basis, right? Otherwise it would become very difficult to compare the financial statements of two companies. So that to maintain the uniformity, these accounting standards, these guidance, these compliances have been issued. So according to International Accounting Standard Board, the objective of financial reporting is to provide information about the financial position, performance, and changes in financial position of an enterprise that is useful to a wide range of users in making economic decisions. So if you see in this definition, the objectives of financial reporting, there are three important things. First of all, to provide information about the financial position of the organization. Second is to provide information about the performance of the organization. कि उसकी financial position क्या है, वो कैसा perform कर रही है. And the third one is the changes in the financial position of an enterprise. कि जो changes, क्या changes आ रहे हैं उसकी performance में या financial position में, whether it is going towards good, towards the growth, or it is declining, right? So what are the changes? So basically financial reporting objectives are to give information about financial position, to give information about financial performance, and to give information about the changes happening in the financial position of the organization. There are some other purposes which can be summed up These have been discussed in Ceratium here. First one is providing information to the management of an organization, which is used for the purpose of planning, analysis, benchmarking and decision making. So obviously आपको वो planning के लिए, analysis के लिए जो reporting से जो आपके पास information निकल के आती है, it forms a base for your planning. Benchmarking means setting up the standards and then taking up the decisions. It provides information to shareholders and public at large, not only shareholders or stakeholders. So जो information होती है, it is also available to the public at large in case of listed companies about various aspects of an organization. So not only financial, in fact, all other aspects of the organization is also available. That information is also available to the public at a large scale. Providing information about the economic resources of an organization, claims to those resources, and how these resources and claims have undergone change over a period of time. So the information we get about the economic resources of an organization, that means owners की equity capital कितनी थी, क्या liability थी, कहाँ पे वो resources use हो रहे हैं, whether it is increasing, it is decreasing, उसकी application क्या है, उसके sources क्या है. So we get to know all this kind of information from the financial reporting. It also provides information to how an organization is procuring and using various resources. जो resources हैं वो organization कहाँ से procure कर रही है, कहाँ से, from where it is fetching it, कहाँ से obtain कर रही है, and where it is using or utilizing those resources, that kind of information. And information regarding performance management of an organization, how efficiently, how ethically, how diligently the management is working or the management is performing, how diligently they are discharging their fiduciary duties and responsibilities. See, it is the duty of the management to take care of the overall organizing, overall performance of the organization. In the sense, management plays, they have two kinds of duties. One is fiduciary duties and another one is statutory duties. Fiduciary duties are based on your trust. These are not, bound by the law. But statutory duties are, these are your legal duties. These are your statutory duties, are your legal duties, which these are bound by the law. They have to abide by the law. So these fiduciary duties are totally based upon the trust. Trust in the sense that diligently means कितनी लगन से वो अपना काम कर रहे हैं. Ethically means morally right है या नहीं है, whether they are performing their duties or not. Providing information to the statutory auditors, which in turn facilitates audit. Statutory auditors means legal auditors. Whatever information is coming, whatever the information is coming from financial statements, it is to be provided to the auditors. Then auditors will be doing the audit, whether it is or in the what is the role of auditors? Auditors' role is to check whether the information provided by the organization is correct or not. That auditing is done. And then enhancing social welfare by looking into the interest of the employees and the society as a whole. So it is also, its purpose is also to show that all the employees, there is no exploitation happening inside the organization, and overall it is working towards the society welfare. So that's why, corporate social responsibility, it also forms a part of your financial reporting. Every organization has to give after with the notes, the director report, annual report, director report, and other notes. And then CSR is also given, corporate social responsibility, that what the corporate is doing for the social welfare. Next comes why it is important, why this financial reporting is important. See, it is required by each and every stakeholder for multiple reasons and purposes. We decided, we saw it. If you are to buy, then also you need to know the financial statement analysis, financial position. If you want to sell out your investment, you are an existing investor, or if you want to hold it, there are many other reasons also. For that, you need the financial reporting. So it helps the organization to comply with various statutes and regulatory requirements. Statutes are your rules and regulations, and regulatory requirements के through ही first of all it has been made compulsory under our regulatory requirements कि हर company को they have to report their financial statements. The organizations are required to file financial statements to registrar of companies. So annually all the organizations are supposed to file their financial statements, or they have to report to the registrar of companies, government agencies. In case of listed companies, quarterly as well as annual results are required to be filed to stock exchanges and published. Those companies which are listed in the stock exchange, not only annually, they even quarterly they have to report it to the stock exchange, and they have to publish their financial reports. It facilitates statutory audit. The statutory auditors are required to audit the financial statements of an organization to express their opinion. So what happens? We assign the auditors, they do the auditing. After that, our auditor's report is also attached along with the financial reports. It is also a component of financial reports, and then it goes to the ROC, right? So आपकी reports आप उनको statutory auditors को देते हो, they do the auditing. उनकी report के साथ then further it has to be submitted to the ROC. Then financial reports forms the backbone for financial planning, benchmark, decision making. This we already covered, that's why it is important. Then financial reporting helps organizations to capital both domestic as well as overseas. See, if you have been reporting, your financial reporting shows and it builds the confidence of the investors or the public at large that this company has been doing well from last 5 years or 7 years. Then once you have that confidence, you have built up that goodwill in the public, you can raise the capital, whether it is from your domestic economy or from abroad. So you can raise, it helps in raising the capital. On the basis of financials, the company in large can analyze the performance of the organization as well as of its management for the purpose of bidding, labor contract, government supplies, etc. Organizations are required to furnish. कोई कंपनी इंटरेस्टेड है, उसको कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेना है, गवर्नमेंट सप्लाईज का लेना है, लेबर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेना है, फॉर ऑल दोज पर्पस आल्सो यू बिकम एलिजिबल only if you have been doing your financial reporting on time. If you are providing, if you are reporting all your financial statements, then only you are considered eligible for such contracts, right? So from all these points which you have discussed now, it can be considered that it is very important from even from the stakeholders point of view, and at times for large organizations it becomes very complex, but the benefits are far more than such complexities. In the sense, see, it is a not a very simple and easy process. You have to prepare the financial statements, you have to do the analysis, then you have to prepare the report, then it is to be sent for auditing, director's report. So it is kind of complex and tedious process, right? But the benefits which you earn, the fruit which you bear out of it, it is much more than such complexity. वो complex आपको तब लगता है, but it gives much more benefits rather than the complexities which you are facing, right? So it contains reliable and relevant information which are used by multiple stakeholders for various purposes. So a sound and robust financial reporting system. A sound and robust financial reporting system is must for all kinds of organization. But there are some limitations associated with financial reporting. So see, first, general purpose financial reports do not and cannot provide all the information that existing and potential investors, lenders, and other creditors need. See, we talked about general purpose financial reports, that we get almost all the important and main information which we need, but it doesn't, it doesn't provide you all the detailed and minute information or one particular specific kind of information which the investor, lender, or any other creditor might be looking for, right? That might be missing in it. So therefore, those users need to consider pertinent information from other sources. Pertinent means the other relevant information which they are looking for. They have to go to other sources for that. Other parties such as regulators and members of the public, other than investors, lenders, and other creditors, may also find general purpose financial reports useful. However, these reports are not primarily directed to these groups. So these are not directly, targeting these groups, but somehow they can find out if they can fetch out some relevant information for their purpose. So financial reporting is considered as an end product of accounting, right? What happens? We prepare financial statements, uska sara interpretation kiya, and that interpretation and those reports are called as your financial reporting. So it is basically the end point of your financial statements or your accounting. So the typical components of financial reporting are balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow statement, statement of changes in stockholders' equity, the notes to financial statement, quarterly and annual reports, and the next one is prospectus. Prospectus is in case of listed companies. And the last one, there is one more point after prospectus, those are management notes. So these are the components of your financial reporting, your management notes and your director's report, right? Now see these 5 elements of financial statement. See all the financial statements, these statements revolve around these 5 elements. First is an asset. What is an asset? Asset is a resource controlled by the entity as a result of past events and from which future economic benefits are expected to flow to the entity. Basically, it is an asset. Asset is a resource which you own right now, because past events which took place in the past, you must have bought something, you had some cash. From that cash, you bought an asset, you bought something that has become your resource, and this resource will give you economic benefits in the coming future. From this resource, this asset, you are expecting the future may it will keep on giving us some economic benefits. What is a liability? It is your present obligation, and this has also arisen due to the past events. Past event में आपने कुछ लिया होगा जहाँ पे पेमेंट नहीं की थी, so that has become your present obligation. आपकी liability आज हो गई है, and it is showing up that in the future you have to, it will lead to the outflow of some economic benefits. That means इस liability के लिए आपके economic benefits use होंगे, outflow होगा, and asset will bring you some inflows. And what is the equity? Equity is the residual interest in the assets of the entity after deducting all your liabilities. So equity means the difference between your asset and liability. Whatever the residual is left, that is your equity. And other 2 components are your income and expenses. Income is increase in economic benefits during the accounting period in the form of inflows or enhancements of assets or decreases of liability. Anything which is adding up in your economic benefits, that becomes your income during that accounting period. And if your economic benefits are decreasing, that becomes your expenses, right? If your economic benefits during the accounting period have depleted, have decreased, so that was your expenses. That things where those got used, that would be your expenses. And the things which have helped you in increasing it, that would be termed as your expenses, right? So today I end up here. We'll continue tomorrow with the same topic in tomorrow's class. You can put up your queries now.